We're good.
You tell me when? Okay, we're going to start now, guys. Mistyrose, I'm a poet. My pseudonym, now you know it. To each creation you can reply, ask why, tear up, or make me cry. So this poem I'm premiering tonight, I just finished it 2 days ago, called Gift from Above. Soft snow had sifted like sprinkled sugar sparkling on every leaf. How odd that there could be some sweetness frosting each stale heap. Those decayed fool's gold leaves would just never fall, buffeted by barren blows. The tree did not need them at all. Why should a tree sap its strength on miseries that cling to the past? In this pure cover, any frozen loss was settled into last. No aging memories would be raked to melt in mud, and no gloss of pretense was forced by it to bud. Neglect was the slow molasses in vulnerable seasons of change. But this white security blanket had a transformation to arrange, to restore an image of beauty fresh as baby powder. A luscious silence promised a release ever louder. The tree's clenched grip had weathered some died-down storm, while it missed the interior view of life created within its form. Senses now refocused and lashes freed in sight of a scarred bark cleared up in the calm light. An aura of crystalline color reflected and filled all the branches. Children's eyes awoke to the dawn, such a lovely reflection catches. For the present, all was gentled. Icicles dared not stir. All nature was in awe of the gift and limitless wonder. So I hope I will open you to children's eyes in some of the poems tonight. And this next one is going to bring you back to, you remember when they said you got to color inside the lines when you were in kindergarten? It's a little senru, which is a little 17-syllable kind of a haiku poem. It's very short, called Shape. Melting fingers grip kindergarten Crayola, waste inside the lines. Told you they're short. 17 syllables goes like that. So hopefully I'll make you laugh on a few, like this one called Is Silence Golden? What if a missing belt leaned over a crack of a plumber, or the wearer of pants forgot to examine his zipper? A slip is hanging as if to say that it is snowing down under? Should anything at all be mentioned, one might wonder. A skirt tucked in a waistband made undies, a visible malfunction. And who would kill the messenger when a wardrobe top lost a button? Food might be stuck in the teeth and soup on the beard, but silence in false manners is how some were reared. The emperor wears no clothes but asks about appearance. Off with the heads is a risk if the answer dares the chance. But just say nothing. Pretend everything is nice and perfect. To not be called mean, stay silent of what others detect. Gold veneered words claim the Midas touch, but all that the king wanted could not nourish if rose-colored glasses examine the sky. That world just then presents a facade of lies. Lies. We don't have any lies in the dating world, do we? Lonely saint. Every man needs a saint to love. What man wants a saint for his wife's love? Though eternal life's gift is love above, nobody seeks a saint to fall in love. hoping to become someone's lovely saint, wanting still. A saint's love seems so far faint. But you know, a man's desire of the lusty win loses its focus from the lofty twin. Yeah, this world of dating now, so much of it is done online and the internet, but sometimes it doesn't always work out even when you get to the date. This is called grounded. Chemistry clicks for a look to see manifest specks of you and me. They say it is better to try and fail. A belly-ache laugh is in the tail. A grin blushes in its passing trail, caught within its mystery veil. Quips and questions confer confusion. The date is too early for a lasting decision. A slower fair speed might stall and seem late. To minding manners you might appreciate, but clipped wings seek a heavenly place that can only be discovered face to face. A waiting line leads to no cartoon. Reeling minds and wheels can swerve too soon. A movie on board is an edge of seat. The closed pearly gates trip up my feet. No drink or refill order, and no dinner for a while. Oh, but drama is free for a frequent flyer mile. Still, the chill checker with baggage handling opts for a takeoff or terminal landing. The flight home has a deadhead. I am too well grounded, veering around the running walkway. There's a window view of the runaway. They don't always turn out like that. And sometimes there's good ones, and even the ones that you regret how they might have been. I was invited to be in a book called Best Poets and Poems of 2012, and I thought it was a scam, but it turns out it's one poet per page, and it's an ISBN number, it's a hardcover book, it's really in the Library of Congress, so this is the poem that is published in that book, called Lost Anniversary. You noticed me first, or so you said. There was just a flash of red. I knew what was blocking the view, but I let you see me anew. You cleared the block, though I did not ask. I knew better than to take you to task. You tried on a new suit, not sure of the fit. I stood back as your tailor drew in each bit. You had a vision that would commit to memories that will never quit. But then the routine call of domestic care shredded the new clothes you wear. You weren't really looking before or after, but when you were, smile lines were. I walked the same path as your tread, and I still miss the loss of all the unsaid. Guess there won't be any breakfast for hereafter with that one. Oh, breakfast? Are we talking about breakfast? Okay, let's lighten it up with blowing breakfast. The three little pigs were given the wrong name and worse digs in the 1932 movie Pigs in Toyland as Elmer, Willie, and Jigs. The wolf had already named them sausage, ham, and bacon. He just wanted to love them to death. Swine served on a bun. So we'll keep it light and laughing here for a little bit. Sometimes there's an edge even with the laughter. I backpack in my younger days, and now I still hike quite a bit. And in the spring here in Oklahoma, I get covered with chiggers and ticks. And it takes a month or two before they move out. It's almost like little communities living on me. And I was looking at all these little colonies and neighborhoods, and I started thinking about society and neighborhoods and how people don't always get along with each other. So I wrote this poem called Ticked Off, a Chigger's point of view. That's your problem to cope. You wish I would go? No. Try your raid. I have no fear. The fact is, I'm staying here. Even if you call me a chigger and walk on my turf, remember that now I get to conceal and carry. Nothing you do will get rid of me. I took up arms against you once, born on a path taken by chance. Who invaded whose borough? I claim this as my own borough. It's a long hike from here to there, but don't suggest busing is fair. Nevermore will I hitch a ride. I plan to dig in right at your side. As it takes all week to scratch out a living, I might raise the roof of the blisters I'm getting. You think I'd give you the shingles? I said. Well, pox on all of you and watch the tan turn red. You have no white-collar flight option. My waking presence you cannot shun. You may damn me as a chigger again, but I'll still find a way to get under your skin. I claim this space from waist at the fence, but I don't like it a rear alien residence. It's so irritating, you see. For free, they moved in right next to me. To skirt the surface of matters, these blood-sucking neighbors compete in the same space I made. They tick me off this trail I laid. Just try to pick them off one by one. Their kids crawl up the drain back again. They play hide and seek round my dark shadow. I have depth, so to me they seem shallow. And you can't break through their shell. They get into your hair and then you swell. So from the vampire bite of that pimp tick, did you get a fix on this chigger's trick? Oh, this one's a little more sad and depressing from the point of view of a trucker. It's called On the Road Again and Not Yet There. And all he's got for company is a CB radio. An inner world peers past my pain through its promised crystal silence, shatters as waves of chatter start in a game that bears no real name and cycles no fresh spin and rinse. Jostled shocks wear out my heart. My only present companion in each dip, more acrid its rot, fails beyond higher inspection. A plugged, stale odor gnaws at me of how to keep the home fires hot. This quandary's tough as jerky. To the office of peace I'd give the license and registration for a piston pump and engine. A pen and ink are more creative, logging arrested contrition. Too late. It's cheating time again. Ignoring each charged warning sign, anode and diode laid current once upon a time to their start. As braced road flares flicker down in line, wires cross till the sparks char and spent, dead end. By the ways, have no chart. Half blinded in the setting sun, all the busy signals hot flashed to pull over and find my head. Drop that load, get another run. My spirit tried, my lost heart crashed. Dry cabs hopes in a sleepless bed. And when I'm driving the red eye, the radiator springs a leak. Just too far gone at pressing luck. Can family recall goodbye? I'm half awake, biting my cheek, aware of feeling that I suck. 2-lane roads, send one in reverse. An aged lane leaves me in my state. And shared limits, it's turn only. but not for the better or worse. Each full lady bears a due date. Played out passion loves to be free. A cat talks shame on tarnished tubs spinning in another pothole. The rig mired in a dried out rut. Wheels of mine fall flat. That's the rub. That on your back way took its toll. Each turn aches of a hard line cut. The security of crossed hands is driven by unmentioned fears that twist with the turns of the wheel to return from the shoulder sands. An open palm must shift the gears, the arms outstretch and beckon to heal. What really failed the recharger to reach the long haul connection? Shield the facts staring in my face while I take a splash of water. The tried and untrue lanes move on. The years and gears slip out of place. I'd rather lose this tread on thought in a hammered metal day. My tongue's thick on its bitter sip. Cold coffee shakes. The truth got caught. Maybe it's a multi-lane highway, but it's still the same old round trip. Thank you. That's the first time I performed that one too. And this next one is a premiere debuting tonight. I just wrote a week ago. I have a spiritual group of people meeting at my home every Thursday night in Owasso. We just started about 6 weeks ago. And from their inspiration, I wrote this poem called Spare Me with a Lift. Out of my mind, more obstacles I swerved again by my brakes. In each ending place, a hesitant plea tried to blame the world. And every time by these human takes and mistakes, a battery within was spoiled and waiting, curled. An unclaimed energy was charged in full. But I hugged the road with stripes and let the tar gunk stay. My overworked engine needed no short haul pull. Nonetheless, I longed for an embrace to fuel the way. Plugged stale air had not all leaked out. Exhausted my rut till I was slow motion tired. My thoughts rolled on. What's it all about, that remaining mud that keeps me mired? The roving road service at my side had expected my call. I had to admit, I've worn out these pulleys of mine. A jack of all trades was sent with links truly beneficial. Hand over hand, he reached right to me as the steady lifeline. My lack of perks sank in an old cesspool where treading alone was draining and hard. My bloated flesh avoided drowning like a fool, grabbing weed roots buried at my own backyard. Crushed wise could not turn back the clock to the lingering smell of forget-me-nots once seized. Should I let the life-saving wheel steer around the old block? The perfume of a why not reply seemed deeply pleased. What little that I felt was the too much I had clogged. Each gasp exhaled from choking on what was too tough. Earth-burdened mists made the future horizon fogged against such bitter vapors. A fresh aspiration could be enough from dead-end notions. Surface healing seemed reasonable off a slippery slope, and a scarred survivor appeared to recover. But I am still impatient. for the touch of shiver and tingle of a soaring lover's caress lighter than a feather's cover. Skidded emotions had endured an attitude cynical and coy, but tears in a royal flush of pain dissolving grains of wheat will make a flat world rise to where senses melt to savor joy. Passion is the substance at the heart of the matter's heat. By an offered sip of your reviving cup, fear is better left behind. Finally finding the us in we is way beyond the me to say how. Lift me up in the air from the morbid mess that I made. I no longer live for now, for I am living now. Changing gears a little bit, let me take you down to Louisiana, where my sister lives on the edge of a bayou, and there's all of those rotting tree stumps that they call elbows in her backyard. And even though she's got this nice grass yard, there is a wild alligator that comes up, so we know where all the missing kittens and small dogs went. And looking at that alligator, I thought the back of it sort of reminds me of mortar brick on its skin. So this is just a little short haiku called Domestic Bayou. Elbows of cedar, molded brick and brack water, head alligator. So now that we're in Louisiana, where my family roots are, and actually I had great aunts that lived in the French Quarter, that place has got, you don't know if it's wisdom or fortune tellers or if it's the down and dirty. It's just so confusing, but hey, let the good times roll and the Zydeco music play, and everything has a little bit of lagniappe, which means a little bit of something extra on top, so let the cherry on top. So this is called Lady Lagniappe of Bourbon Street in tribute to the Cajun Zydeco music. Rap on her door to escape the noisy crowd. Then you can enter a tune with no off-key mess. She'll float you a dream in a meringue music cloud. Not any old cat lady is the celebrating baroness. Can steamy days and nights without salt be stored? This former debutante succumb to Zydeco fun. Kneading knuckles offer a steady beat from the board. Her piquant perfume is the South soft cinnamon. Candle with your airs, there's a smoky sense of sage. Pass the opium din of unrest and purge your head. Listen to the thick reading, accented to scrub a rage. Then tilt back your glasses from both the blues and red. She wears a whitewashed coat for a petite start. Her well-versed French tongue needs no Cajun voodoo. She carefully echoes your own bass booming heart. Then with ginger, snaps her focus on the life you pursue. Buried faults are aired above the bald squabber line. In red-light streets, clubs of pestilence were dumped. Her grinding soul music across the canal needs no next sign. Empty baggage gets laid where the spades are trumped. In this humidity, no need for bouquet or spray. Embrace her near the hanging moss before it's all uncurled. Try to forget those many cockfights from another day. Come, escape from the mosquito itch of the buzzed world. Levy your foaming brew where the seer reposes. She does not take to pawn your ring's diamond heart, concealed in a cordial julep scented of posied supposes. Her crystal without solitude targets your iron heart. She pulls out an old button box and the air is so sweet. Into all spice of life, your mortal frets are ground. Alligator tips are paddles on soul-tapping feet. Their bayou stench is washed by the frottoir sound. A wig over ocean misted baby powder. Once you bear a common identity mask, you stole fingered snaps of veil, a stitched secret of amber power. The rhythm dares consume you through a do-not hole. Beignets, slathered in clarified butter, turned beige. As pent-up feelings release from behind your own dam, her message to you plays. If you don't mention age, tell me what you love, and I'll tell you what I am. Your guilt-wrought spirit is where the marching saints will meet, forged with an iron, then linen washed in golden pleasure. The juree of thumps attest to this amethyst airborne feet, hovering over the emerald swamp that has faith as its cure. Where life is quartered, the hour at hand has its price. In the Creole's tide-worn basin, dreams flow down the drain. White doves are just tired pigeons flying around vice. But here, when the rain falls, the frogs sing in your brain. So yeah, we're in the South where your favorite aunt will bake you a cupcake and kiss those tears away off your cheeks with a little bit of Southern comfort. Southern comfort gets set to the side when it's too perfect for adults to imbibe, and a child's broken dream room is too tired, so Cupid's neck falls late and wide. Southern comfort goes down easy with peaches and lemonade, but it's more of a trophy alone than any mix has made. Beneath this fuzzy accent of genteel taste, an icy sharp tongue lies in wait. Southern comfort can send you off on a broken wing. The steel magnolia's cheeks flush rosy rings. For a butterfly kiss is too fleeting a thing. Hovering lashes carry the tears sting. Southern comfort serves cupcakes with an innocent hum. Decadent icing melts fast and furious in the sun. The fresher batter gets splattered just for fun, and a toothpick prick decides what is done. And you were thinking of the other Southern comfort, were you, here in the Yeti Saloon? Okay, well maybe when you're hungover tomorrow you ought to just go fishing with this little haiku called Drying Out. Filmed fish eyes at bank. Watched the waves cast over life. My proved spirit sank. And those waters flowed to the sea and went to rain, and the rains fell, and why didn't the rains fall in Arizona? So I wrote a memorial for the Prescott funerals that we just recently had with those terrible fires. I guess they don't know I wrote it, but this is in honor of those firefighters, all colored red. The smoke and ash in the air hazed over a laid bare show. Refugees choked on arid sparks of incandescent glow. Sweating effort tried to quench the flame. Water steamed from mud. The raging inferno's palate was engorged with brave blood. But courage lasted unscorched, though craved by the taste of the fire. Then salted water streamed from the swollen eyes by the pyre. To their sacrifice, and the sacrifice that our military does, like over in Iraq and Iran. This is called Homeward Bound. Once upon a time had no kiss of death. when spinning the bottle and baby's breath faced no horror chamber or loaded gun. Now, men ponder fate while their children run, but none move a muscle to ask the sense where survival is at least existence. Daily toil and struggle is not so free. Every scrapping ideal claims the key which would latch on its store of old seeds. Fertile fields submit to prevailing weeds. Staccato rounds could thwart invaded game, and dust swirls in the grim face of the plain. Who can sow anew where the ground still bleeds? Dry fields are fouled by incendiaries. Cataracts will not release for a tear. Before each coming, life was long with fear. And from a base home, there is nowhere for flight. A security vacuum sucks out light. Future dread is a wound with its own sting, laid deep behind the lines that the shadows bring. Centuries' concussions silenced all peace. Primitive power extracted its fees. Family ties are broken once removed. The returning brothers have never soothed. Those to be rescued remain in harm's way. A bird's whirl sounds a mortal ricochet. Incoming screams echo across the sky. Outgoing sighs wonder whose turn to die. To take the point is just another grunt. Get me safely home is the whispered want. That dry dust in Iraq and Afghanistan, just as dry the dust in the Mideast. I spent 3 weeks in the Mideast while I was working on a master's in theology. I got to go to all of the cities mentioned in Revelation, studied archaeology as well as the theology over there. And I probably would have gotten in trouble if they knew I sometimes wandered off alone to just see what it was really like in rural Turkey. So this was just published last month in Northeastern's academic journal called Portmanteau. I call this Dust-Eyed, and it's based on my true experiences in Turkey about 6 years ago. My arms and calves were covered against the billowing dust that rose while I walked. I could dare to expose my red hair if unscarfed to reflect the heat of local submission. With my passport hidden away, only I had the choice not given to the native women. I watched hunched wives working with their children. Their dry eyes dared not dream to venture from the fields. Their men, who sipped cool drinks in the village shade, would have warned against a visual danger as a woman unescorted. The clear eyes sought the only secret access through overheated corridors. This was my encounter with the swirling mirage, hiding an oasis of life. If I passed, would an image just evaporate? My spirit wanted to delay along a path of existence. I wondered if there was a strange language of sisterhood. I could not contain the personal value of the worth sifted beyond measure. My own eyes sent the sentiment, I do see you. You are a person. At any caravan crossing, passing strangers could meet. For a moment, we found each other where no souls were shaded. Open eyes could not put a lid on such invisible smiles of energy. I wished we could ignite a warmth more true than that arid climb. I sensed a tear along the fabric that life stitched shut. But then we were choked by the dust. From the red dust to the red planet, Mars. A little haiku called Steer. Red dust atmosphere, sun reflects off ancient sphere, pioneers draw near. Now I wrote this because the Mars Maven project of NASA's mission to Mars is going to Mars. And they are going to take one haiku to the planet Mars. It's a popularity contest. In fact, the voting starts tomorrow on the internet, and if this poem gets enough votes, I hope, maybe with your help, my poem might very well be on that spacecraft and land on the planet Mars. So while we're dreaming of Mars, let me close out with the last haiku for you. I hope I've opened your eyes to a fresh, beautiful way of seeing things. This is called Dream Catcher. When you wear the night, what color is the shadow inside your eyelids? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm Misty.